Not quite where he's talking. I know. This is Gabriella, which is from Scotland. She's going to be independent son, and she's your spirit guide. All right, so that was very imposing. I think Shabbat and Did you have a first Nagoon you wanted? I did. I would rather Shabbat Shalom, y'all, and Chag Sameach. So we are here to celebrate, of course, the creation of the world with the Sabbath, but we also recognize that we are once again standing at the foot of Mount Sinai. It's complicated. And what we're going to be doing tonight is something different than we do on a traditional Shabbat for a couple of reasons. Not only because we are going to transition in a relatively short time from our traditional Shabbat modes of doing things to the holiday of Shavuot with its special focus on Torah study, because This is where we receive the Torah. But we also have an additional element going on, which is that we have a cadre of song leaders who have just returned from, what can I call it? The Jerusalem of Texas, Bruceville, where they were studying Hava Nashira. They were in part of a musical retreat, and they have been enriched with the music they've learned, and in turn, they would like to enrich us. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay, who has a number of things she'd like to share with us today.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Recognize a lot of you, some new faces, always exciting. I look forward to this night every year. I call this Nerdy Cheesecake Night, and I love it. It is so underrated. I'm so glad you're here. So as Rabbi said, I was one of the lucky people that he sent to Hava Nashira this week. And if you don't know what Hava Nashira is, it means let us sing together. And it is the largest song leading retreat camp in the country. And my suite mates were actually coming from Vancouver. We had a teacher coming in from London. This is a big deal. And it's not lost on me that this is a small congregation with not the biggest budget in the world. And I recognize the sacrifice you had to make to send us there. And I'm so grateful, as I'm sure Kevin is too, who went with me. So as part of Nerdy Cheesecake Night, when I presented, this is my third year presenting, and I'm really excited. And I honestly had no idea what I was presenting on until 2 days ago, because I just got back from camp. So I asked Rabbi if I could do one time at Song Leader Camp of basically bringing back the spoils of what I learned in terms of songs. I'm a pianist. I play guitar too, but mainly a pianist. So I'm going to be leading from over here. And it dawned on me while I was at Hava Nashira that those of you on this side of the room don't always see me when I'm all over there. So I'm going to invite you just for today. You don't have to do this all the time. I recognize that this is kind of like, you know how you're in school and the teacher doesn't give you seat assignments, but you always sit in the same spot anyway. I'm going to invite you just for today, if you're comfortable, move to this side of the room.
So that you're being voluntold.
I'm not going to like smite you if you don't, but it will make this experience easier if you move to this side of the room, so that I can teach things. And on that note, I'm going to be teaching new music today. I'll wait till everybody settles down.
Wow, that was so compliant. That was so completely un-Jewish. I'm impressed. I guess I'll sit over on this side too.
But you notice they still don't take front seats.
It's okay, Molly. You are holding it down, and I love that about you. So since we are all now on this side of the room, I'm going to be teaching you things. This is not a replacement. The old songs are not blowing away forever. You do not have to worry I am moving your cheese. This is just for tonight. Or cheesecake, good one. We were speaking earlier about what if I can't sing? What if I don't feel comfortable singing? And the first nigun that I'm going to share with you today was shared by a person who composed this originally, over at Hava Nashira. And what he said was, God hears the prayers of enthusiasts, not experts. And sometimes when we're so caught up in words and learning the Hebrew and figuring out what it is doing, we forget to listen to our own prayers. And that's why nigun is so helpful, because it gets us out of that life, the only thing you really have to worry about. So we're going to be learning a new nigun today. And again, I'm not moving your cheese. I appreciate so much that you are open to learning new things with me. If you hate it, we never have to do it again. Thank you. Is this thing on? I don't think so. Is there a way to turn it on?
Oh, I thought it was up. Kevin's.
Thank you, Kevin. Is this thing on now? Yes, thank you. Lie, lie, lie. Try that. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Second part. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Nice. Lie, 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 lie. There you go, you got it. You don't have to be professional singers to do that. All right, let's do it one more time from the top. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. We're going to come back to that melody later in the service. I wanted to use something that could build. So back to Rabbi.
Outstanding. Well, Shabbat Shalom. And as we always do every Shabbat, we like to check in with the community, bring each of us up to date with what's happening with others of us, with good and blessing. Anything good that's happening in your life doesn't have to be a big deal. I always reassure you. Look at the enthusiasm over there. Well, hang on just a moment, Julie, but you're first in line. All right. So a couple things that I know are happening in our congregation is that Joe and Karen Bornstein, our longtime members, are celebrating their anniversary this weekend. And birthdays last week, we have Lori Applebaum and Reagan Dietz, Ava Kaplan and Brian Lapidus, and Sarah Moniz, Ellie Webster, Vinkas Aurora, Morgan Ducar, Jennifer Goldberg, Shelby Ketuv, Brett Mayer, and Benjamin Roseberry. So we want to wish them all a happy birthday. Now, I just feel like I have to start with Julie. Julie, what's going on? Yay! We are so proud of you, even though you don't want us to look at you. All right, yes, what do you got, Josh?
My daughter's graduated, Samantha, has graduated middle school.
Oh! All right, yes, Emma.
I passed all my finals.
Mazel tov. Who else has something to report? Gil. Very nice. That's very nice. Who else on this side? Yes, Michael. Sometimes the good and blessing is the end of something not so good. That's right. Who else has something to report? Yes, Melissa.
I am a proud puppy mama and got to bring my golden retriever home.
Oh, you have a golden retriever puppy. Very nice. Brightest.
No!
No, they're not the sharpest knives in this.
But they're so enthusiastic.
They're just so sweet. They're just insanely sweet. Go, Doug.
My little brother graduated high school.
Yay! Who else? Anybody else have some? Molly.
Zach is 35 today,
Oh, wow.
and I got pictures from, it just kind of amazes me, and I got pictures from work.
Uh-huh.
And they had a cake for him, and and he was happy, and smiles on his face, and it was like, just almost, I didn't recognize him, it was like,
Okay.
oh, it's like.
All right, let's not get too dark here.
No, I'm telling you, smiles on the face.
Okay, that's dark. It's Christian, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Our niece went
Wow. Anybody else need to report anything going on in their lives? Yes, Vicki. fantastic. All right. And Hannah.
My big din happened on Tuesday.
It did. All right. For those of you who aren't among the informed, the Beit Din is how one enters into conversion to Judaism. So we had her Beit Din. She went to the mikveh. The community embraced her with a unanimous agreement that she was ready to become part of our people, and she is. So I may draw you up here at another time to celebrate this. So thank you for bringing this forward. All right. I think, is that everybody? Is that everybody? All right. So let's go ahead and get to the candle lighting. And it's my delight to invite up Samantha and Deborah to kindle the lights of Shabbat. If you have your purple prayer book, you're going to go to page 1. Page 1.
We have 3 flame kindle options here. I'm gonna go with
You may
this one.
choose whatever technology
Okay.
brings you most joy.
We're gonna use this one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlig ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
We're going to continue now with our Kabbalat Shabbat. Which one did you want to go for?
We are doing a new Or Zarua today.
Or Zeruach, new Or Zeruach. So we're going to get a little warm up here. We're going to go to Psalm 96. All right. And I'm going to ask you in English to join me on the middle of the page. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exult. And then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of Adonai. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples faithfully. And now we turn to Psalm 97, which has the famous phrase, Or Zorach l'Ishrei Lev Simcha, a light is for the righteous and for the upright of heart.
So this is going to be a call and response one. Thank you. Thank you. Righteous to be like, maybe it's because I grew up in the 90s and I heard righteous kind of like surfer slang, but like, what does that mean really? I invite you to find what that means to you. What does that mean to you to be virtuous, to be upright of heart? Light is sown for the righteous. Let's do that in English. Light is sown for the righteous. Again, light is sown for the righteous. Light is sown for the righteous. And joy for the upright of heart.
All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite you to turn over to page 6, something more familiar to us, Psalm 29. Havu l'Adonai b'ne'elim, havu l'Adonai kavod, havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh, Adonai oz le'mo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. We come now to Lecha Dodi. I think I'm going to designate Neil and Gil to be the people who are the ushers for welcoming the Shabbat into our midst. Page 7, for anyone who's a visitor, it's the custom here at Congregation Kol Ami that when we get to the final stanza, we all rise and we turn towards the door and we effectively welcome Shabbat into our midst. So we're going to be doing, however, 3 stanzas before that, and you'll see it on page 7, Lecha Dodi.
We're gonna do the normal one. You're welcome. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibu echad, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד הוא שמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת להו ונלהה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשואה, סוף מעשה טבח שבת תפילה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום העטרת מעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוהמו נעם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
We're going to continue now on page 9 with the Hatzi Kaddish.
And actually, Kevin has volunteered, or I have
Kevin
told
is
him
going to lead us
to
in the
lead the
Hatzi
Hatzi
Kaddish.
Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה בנחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
Please rise, everyone, if you're able, for the Baruch.
Remember when I said the Nigun was coming back? It's here. We're gonna do the Nigun one more time. I will fix this way.
Okay, that's fine.
Lai, 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 Baruch et Adonai ha-mevorach. Baruch Adonai ha-mevorach. Leolam, leolam
We continue now to celebrate the changing day and night of our lives with Ma'ariv Arvim on page 11. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'dvaro Ma'ariv Arvim, b'chochma poteach sha'arim, u'v'tvana meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'msader et hakokavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirotzono. Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or umavdir yom umevi layla umavdil bein yom uvein layla Adonai tzvaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. May God govern us always to the end of time. Praised are you, Adonai, who makes this evening fall. And unending is your love for your people, the house of Israel. Torah, mitzvot, laws, and precepts we have taught you. You have taught us. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and rejoice in your Torah and mitzvot forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life in the length of our days, and then your love shall never depart from our hearts. Blessed is Adonai, who loves the people Israel.
So we're going to be doing a slightly different Shema. We can do the normal one that we always do, and then I will teach you another one, okay?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Kevod Mahuto Le'olam Va'ed.
If you would like to remain standing, you are welcome to. If you would like to sit while you learn it, that is
You can
fine
sit for
too.
the Shema.
So this is one that and Kevin will attest to this because he was there. This was just absolutely gorgeous when we did this as a group. And the person leading was talking about how really Adonai is not the name of God. It is an appellation that we use. There are many others. And you can put in there whichever one you would like. This one in particular uses Havaya, and that roughly translates, you may correct me if I'm wrong, to essence or being. And if you don't like that one, if that one doesn't serve you, you can put in a different name. But let's try Havaya together first. Shema, Shema, Israel, Havaya Eloheinu, Havaya Eloheinu, Havaya Ehad, Havaya Ehad, Baruch Shem, Baruch Shem, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malhuto, Kevod Malhuto, Leolam Vaed, Leolam Vaed. I will continue singing with Havaya. If you would like to put in a different name, either out loud or in your heart, that's fine. But isn't this pretty though? Shema Israel, Havaya Eloheinu, Havaya Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malhuto, Leolam Vaed.
And it's a funny thing about having these hearing aids. Over here, I hear the piano and I can't hear her.
Oh,
So if
no.
she's already said this, excuse me, but Havaya means living Adonai or living God. So it's a variant way of doing that. So if you will continue now on page 13, we'll read the V'ahavta together. All right, in English. That's right. You shall love Adonai your God with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your being. These words which I command you this day shall be upon your heart. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you dedicate yourselves to your God. I, Adonai, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, am your God.
I am short. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכלך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
We continue now with the Hebrew, Emet ve'emunah. Emet ve'emunah kol zot v'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'en zulato, ve'anachnu Yisrael, Amo. We turn now to the Micha Mocha, the song of our celebration of liberation on page 15.
So this is a version that I always do, but I want to draw attention to the fact that it is by Debbie Friedman. And Debbie Friedman was one of the founders of Hava Nashira. And in the opening ceremony, the person leading said, you know, if at least once per hour somebody at Hava Nashira is not singing Debbie Friedman, we've lost our way. So this is in memory of her. Lai 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 lai. Mi hamo haba elim Adonai, mi kamo haner man kodesh, noratehi lo tosef ele, noratehi lo tosef ele. Malehut hara uvaneha, tokei ayam lifnei Moshe.
And now the Hebrew of Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai hafores sukat shalom aleinu v'al amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We continue now with Tefillah on page 17. If able, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftahu fiyagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Haseavot ve'imahot, U'mevi Geula livnei bneihem, L'man shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen,
Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham be'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol אתה רב להושיע. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צובט נופלים ורופא חולים, ומציל אסורים, ומקיים באמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומינו מלך, מלך נמית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ולמען אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעלו הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. And in honor of Shabbat, we're going to be singing Yismechu on the bottom of the next page. As we move towards Shavuot, and we are soon going to draw a line on Shabbat, we're going to do two more elements of Shabbat familiar to us all. And one is a Mishaberach for all the people who are ailing in body or spirit. And then we're going to do Kaddish for all the people this week. And then from that moment, we're going to process to the Oneg, where we're going to start our Oneg and begin our Shavuot studies. So I begin with Mishaberach. May the one who blessed our ancestors also bless Bert Barnes, Joanne Barnes, Joyce Bloom, Natalie Bovino, George Cavanis, Mark Davis, Jeanette Dubrow, Francine Feingold, Michelle Griffin, Molly Kalig, John Kaufman, Deb Kaufman, Lauren Koenig, Alex Koenig, Al Landon, Deb Ledden, Matt Levin, Phyllis Laurley, Steve Meredith, Jane Mobley, Anthony Neria, Jack Wynn, Paul Redwood Jr., Helen Rubel, Adrian Sandler, Dale Seaver, Happy Waterman, and Howard Watt. Are there any other names that we would like to add to that list of people we would hope for healing? Thank you.
Curtis Johnson.
Very good. Bruce?
Tanya and Alexia.
Thank you.
Susan Taylor and Deborah Gibbon. Joshua Young.
Thank you.
Carla Campbell and Andy Dillon.
Very good.
Nate Wild, Susie Pointwood, Suzanne Wild,
Yes.
Susie Jacobs.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll turn to page 40, you'll find Debbie Friedman, Mishavera, waiting for us.
So this is going to be Debbie Friedman's Mishavera, but I'm adding something. And this is the part that's been making me nervous because I wrote this.
Ooh, okay.
And I'll tell you a story behind this. Back when I was a baby Jew in Florida, a lot of you may or may not know that I converted. I was serving a small congregation, very much like this one, and I lived in the place which Alachua County, Florida has the highest concentration of Hare Krishnas outside of India for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, Kirtan was everywhere. We were constantly chanting, and we invited the Hare Krishnas, and it was a nice collaboration. It was great. And my rabbi told me, why don't you write a chant? And I'm like, on what? Okay. So he's like, how about on Elna Refana? And I heard so many people do different chants on this over Hara Nashira. And I was like, you know what? Wow, I have all of the vulnerability of an uncracked walnut. And so this is hard for me because songwriting is vulnerable. And this is just a tiny little ditty. But even then, it's like, you know what? Maybe it's time to let it out into the world again. This hasn't seen the light of day in about 10 years. That's all that it is, so you can sing it with me. That's God, please heal her. This is the prayer that Moses made for Miriam when she was ill. And you can insert anybody you want in there. And so I need you to hold down the fort for me so I can harmonize. Why did I choose this chord progression, this key? Because it can go Mi Shevera Avoteinu Mekor Hadaha Lavoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say Amen.
And now, before we begin our climb up Mount Sinai, it's time for us to remember those individuals who were once part of our lives and part of our communities, but are no longer with us. We honor them, both those who have died recently and those who have died this season in years past. And I begin by asking, is there anyone who has lost a loved one, someone precious to them, in the last 7 days? Is there anyone in Shiva? Harold.
All Davis.
Thank you. For Shloshim, we have notice of Ed Berry, the friend of Mark Davis. Is there anyone else here in Shloshim?
Charles Van Newell.
Thank you. Right. And for Shiva this week, we have the names Sydney Album, Lillian Brenner, Gloria Burke, Sam Croman, John Halsey, Aaron Schlanger, and Blanche Yaris. Is there anyone else who has an anniversary of death in their family or among their loved ones? All right, we turn to page 85. And together as a community, as is our custom, we rise for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah ve'alma yibrach v'yitei v'yamlim ha'alutei v'chayekonu yomechon v'chayei v'kol beit Yisrael v'alav v'zman karimi v'yimru amen Ye'ei shmei Rabbah mevarach ve'elam v'lamei amayim Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpahar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh Yitzhakar, Yitzhaleh, Yitzhalah, Shmei, Yishal, Ve'elam, Kol, V'kata, V'shirata, Tushbakata, Nechemata, V'amran, Ve'olam, V'yimru, Amen. Ye'ei Shema, Rabba, Mishmaya, V'chayim, Aleinu, Ve'ol, Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, V'yimru, Uyas Shalom, Aleinu, Ve'ol, Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all of us and all of those bereaved among us. And let us say, Amen. So what we're going to do now, we're saving the Aleinu until midnight. And so let us all decamp to the Onegi Hall. Grab yourself your first refreshments, and then in about 15 minutes, we're going to start our studies. So now there will be a kiddush in there, so be prepared for that.
Take care of that.